Hi, everyone. Long time no see for some of you, but this is the presentation for JSON serialization and what I've learned this week. Let me go ahead and share my screen so I can share some wonderful information with you guys. So first off, again, this not sound like a broken record from some of the guys last week that did JSON serialization, but first off, to break this word up into two separate things. First off, JSON is JavaScript object notation. All that means is that it's a syntax for storing and exchanging data at a specific way of writing it, which we'll cover here in a bit. Then there is serialization. We've done serialization before in Java from the CIT360 class. So all it is a way of converting your objects into a byte stream. And you can tell that a class is serialized by the fact that in its header it has serializable or implements serializable or externalizable. So the first reason that came to mind is to why do I want to use JSON? And in the research that I've done on the web, it is absolutely the simplest way to exchange and put data to text format from a Java object or any type of object within a programming language. It's also very lightweight in the way that it's written. It also is fully represents a data structure. Some other methods of saving data or serializing it don't 100% represent how the data is in memory. So in this JSON format, you can do arrays, you can do strings, integers, all the different type of primitive data types that we have in Java. And it's also language independent. So first off, this is the JSON structure. This is directly off of json.org. So there are two types of objects within, main types of objects, I should say, within JSON that you'll use. You've got an object, and you've also got an array. To write an object, you'll always start off with curly brackets. And if it's going to be an empty object, then you just follow this path and then close it. But you'll continue doing string and value pairs throughout the whole pattern of an object as long as you need to define more data about it. If one of those data values or data objects that you need to tie to the object is an array, then you just break off into the array category, which has the square brackets with a value and then multiple colons or apostrophes after that. So what can we store in JSON? Anything from booleans to numbers and strings to arrays to just an object in general, or you can just put null, which was when there's nothing inside the brackets. This is a very simple example of, first off, an object. It starts off with the curly brackets, and the first key value pair is vehicles. And I went ahead and tied an array of two separate vehicles into format. So inside those arrays, there's two more objects that have data inside of them. Both have the name and make, or the make and model of a vehicle, and it's just in text format. So here are the links to my GitHub for my personal portfolio for what I'm about to show you. In the event you guys want to take a look at it further, play around with it, whatever you want. But you can pause the video here and get it. So let me go ahead and close this out. So first off, I picked Google's JSON library to do the serialization and deserialization. And other than that, I'm just using normal buffered readers and writers, as well as file readers and writers into a file. So first off, I create a instance of my vehicle class, which is over here. All it is a class that has these 4 different data option data. I'm forgetting the word. These are the different variables that I have tied to each object. So you got make, model, year, and VIN for each of these. There's all the different gets and sets, as well as the display vehicles, which I use in the actual application. So here I create 2 instances of it, vehicle 1 and vehicle 2. So I set vehicle 1 to be my wonderful pickup that I love dearly downstairs. And then I have the other, which is my wife's vehicle, which is also great. Then here is where I actually call to display the data, just so that I can show you that the objects are there and that they are functioning appropriately. Now to convert it, you just create a JSON type. I just call it vehicles JSON. And from there, I also created 2 string variables because to convert it to JSON, you needed a string variable to dump it into, or JSON, not JSON. So I do the vehicles.json to JSON on vehicle 1, 2, and I store it into 2 separate string variables. I print that data out so that I could show you guys what it looks like. From there, I then open up a buffered writer to save the file, to save file.json. I send it out, and then I close that file. I tested that out. That worked fine. So then I wanted to go a little bit further. I actually wanted to retrieve the data. So I do the same thing in reverse. I do new data 1 and 2 of type string. I read those in to that data. I print that data out as I got it from the file. And I then create 2 brand new vehicle instances and convert with the from JSON option on my vehicles JSON from earlier. That allows me to take the new data 1, tell it that I want it to be a vehicle class, and drop it into this guy here. Display it again to show that the conversion worked appropriately. I want to, first off, I need to delete the file so that I can show you guys that it actually creates the file. It drops it in the my root of my portfolio here. So I'll go ahead and delete that, and then we'll go ahead and run this real quick. Okay. So here we go. So it displays the information first. Then here's the serialized data from that object. Notice that you've got the make, the model, the year, and the VIN all in that specific object. In between here, it saves the file. And then from here, this is where it reads it again from the file. So you can tell it hasn't changed its format. And these are the new vehicle instances, and they look identical to the ones above. So long story short, this is, and here's the new file. If you open it up in a Notepad+, you can see that's what it looks like inside of the file itself. And that's JSON in general, and then a representation of it with my application. Enjoyed it. Hopefully I wasn't too lengthy, and I hope you guys have a good night.